Welcome grade 3 students to our new English lecture. This is lecture 5. In this lecture we will be covering the phonics lesson about short E, O and U, the reading lesson, the dream catcher, and the genre of this lesson is realistic fiction. Our essential question for this week is, what can traditions teach you about cultures? So we're going to see some pictures of Lebanese traditional food and traditional dance. So as you can see, baklawa is one of our traditional food. We have also tabbouleh. This is so tasty. And we must not forget our traditional dance, which is dabke. Traditions are passed down from generation to generation. They are the symbols in our culture. We have many traditions here in Lebanon. Holidays are example of traditions. Religion is an example of tradition. The way we celebrate is an example of a tradition. Traditions may differ from a group of people to another group of people, even if they are in the same country. So tradition makes us different. Different traditions build a community. So here in Lebanon, we have many traditions because we have many groups of people that live in Lebanon. In order to know more about a person, you can simply ask him or her about their traditions, and then you will learn a lot about them. So let's move on to our next slide. Here we're going to watch a video about traditions.
Traditions. What can traditions teach you about cultures? Dance is an important tradition in the Eskimo culture. Eskimo children learn about their culture as they learn to dance. We can learn a lot about culture from our families. Tamales are a traditional food in Panama. Maria's grandmother is teaching her more than how to cook. She's sharing her culture. Here, Kiku's grandfather is sharing his Japanese tradition of trimming bonsai trees. What a good way for Kiku to learn about her culture.
Now, let's start with our phonics lesson first. As I said, our phonics lesson is about short E, O, and U. So short E makes the sound eh, like the sound you hear in egg, egg, egg. Short O makes the sound just like the sound you hear in octopus, October, Okay, now O, just like the sound you hear in the middle of the word fox. And short U is the sound you hear in up or umbrella. So it's the sound What are the spelling or the word list that we have? I have here the word step. This is a short sound E. Step, mess, head. Now in the first two words, the short E sound, the sound is in the middle of the word. Okay, it comes alone with only letter E, step and mess. But as you can see in the word head, I have the two letters E and A that are pronounced with the sound even though I have E and A, but they are pronounced as So what do these words mean? Step is like when you step. These are footsteps, for example. And mess is just like when you have a mess and you need to tidy up all this mess. And head is obvious. Look at Mickey's head, for example. Mickey or Minnie? I'm not sure. You can tell me later. Let's move on. I have here the short O sound with the crops. So what are crops? Crops, these are the harvest of what we have planted. Let's say, for example, a farmer planted corn. So when the corn is ripe and ready, they will harvest this corn. So this one is called crops. It doesn't have to be only corn. It can be any other kind of plants. Second one, I have the word stop. Okay, so this is the word stop, just like you see here in the sign, stop. Second, I have the word rock. rock. So here's a group of rocks. So in plural, I say rocks. So one is rock, and the other one, when I have more than one, I say rocks. Okay, so let's move on. Next, I have here, still I have words with short O. I have the word clock, and there's a picture of a clock. Sock, one of them is sock, so both of them we say socks. Word number 3, I have pond. So what does pond mean? Pond is a small body of still water, or an area, small area where water is stored, collected, or gathered. It can be naturally or artificially. Let's move on. Next, I have short U sound, ah. So I have the word jumps, jumps. Next, I have the word shut, like shut the door. Number 3, I have luck. So what do we do in order to have good luck? You know, they say that you can cross your fingers like that so you can have good luck. It's just a saying. I don't know if it works or not. Next, I'm still with words with short U sound. I have number 1, slump. Slump means like the bottom. It's just like when you feel in the bottom of things, you know, like you feel down and you feel you need a lot of work in order to improve yourself. So we say like you are at the slump. The next word I have bugs. Now, bugs is another word for insects. I have here caterpillar, dragonfly, ant, under it snail. Then I have the ladybug, under it I have a bee, and then up I have, I think it's a fly, and then a butterfly. And picture number 3, I have a mug. Now this is a yellow mug. So now we're going to practice using these words in sentences, and we're going to practice their meanings as well. Now it's a practice time. We have this spelling list of words. I have the word step, mess, head, crops, stop, rock, clock, sock, pond, jumps, shut, luck, slump, bugs, and mug. Write a spelling word that goes with the other 2 words. So we have here 2 words, and we have to find which word goes or belong to the same group. Ocean and lake. Try to find the answer. Before I reveal the answer for you, I want you to grab a pencil and paper and try to guess the word. I gave you a hint. The word, you can find it in this column. So think about it. Which one goes in the group? It's the word pond. Number 2, I have ants and grasshoppers. Grasshoppers. So the word is found in this column. Go ahead, try to guess the answer before I tell you the answer. And the answer is, you guessed it right, bugs. Number 3, I have a plate and fork. So something that is used for eating. It's in the same column, the last one. So which one goes in this blank, or which one belongs to this group? It's the word mug. Number 4, a stone or pebble. Which one also a stone or a pebble? You can find it outside. It's found in the second column. And the answer is not crops, not stop, it is rock. Number 5, hops and leaps. So just like hopping and leaping. So it's found in this column, and it is, you guessed it right, jumps. Now here we have to write the spelling word that best completes each sentence. Let's start reading. We know to what at a red light. What do you usually do at a red light? The answer is in this column. Do you do crops? No, you stop at a red light. Number 7, please the door when you go out. So what do we do to a door? When we go out, we have to, what's the answer? It's in this column. We shut the door. Number 8, I hope to win the game. So wish me what? Wish me, it's in the same here in this column. Wish me what? Luck. That's correct. Number 9, I lost one blue what in the laundry. This happens a lot. What do moms usually lose in the laundry? They usually lose one sock. Number 10, I need an alarm to wake up. So what do we need? It's found in this column, and it's the first word, so it's the word clock. Number 11, I need to clean up the what in my room. What do you have to clean? We clean up the, it's found in the first column, we clean up the mess. Number 12, our new puppy is white with the brown spots on his, so it's one of the body parts, it's in the first column, and the answer is head. Number 13, take a big what over that spilled water. So when you have spilled water, what do? Do you walk on the spilled water? No, you have to take a big step over that spilled water. Number 14, our team started out winning, but now we're in the bottom, you can say like that. So we can say we're in the slump. 15, the farmer spoke to our class about growing. What do we plant and grow? Crops. So now that we have finished our phonics lesson, it's time to move on to the vocabulary words before starting our English lesson. So look at these words. Are they familiar? Do you know the meaning of any of these words? Let's read them together. Maybe something will refresh your memory, and maybe you will remember the meaning of any of these words. So here I have the word celebrate. 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 Under it I have the word courage. Courage. In the other column I have the word pride. Pride. Under it I have the word remind. Remind. Now second I have the word disappointment. This, you can divide the word into syllables. So disappointment. Under disappointment I have the word precious. Precious. In the next column I have the word symbols. Symbols. And under the word symbols I have the word tradition. Now I hope that you know the meaning of some of these words. Now we're done with the vocabulary. Let's move on to their meanings one by one. First, here I have the word celebrate. What's the meaning of celebrate? Celebrate is to do something special. To celebrate is to do something special, like having a party, okay, going to maybe only a gathering together. Okay, for example, I celebrate with my friends. This can be used in a sentence. The next word is the word courage. Courage means bravery. So for example, firefighters show bravery and courage. When you are brave, it means you are not afraid of challenging situations or challenging tasks. Sometimes, like firefighters, their work needs courage. You need someone who is brave to do this task, to sacrifice their lives and to put their lives into risk in order to rescue someone else's life. Next I have the word disappointment. Disappointment, for example, to be sad of unexpected things. When you are disappointed, it's like you have thought of something that will happen, but then you were disappointed because that thing did not happen. Maybe, for example, you were disappointed, maybe you wanted a gift for your birthday, let's say an iPhone 11 for example, but then your parents got you a bike instead. Okay, so at that point I'm sure that you will be disappointed. For example, here Jason felt disappointment when it rained. Apparently Jason was planning to play outside, but when it rained he was disappointed. Next one is the word precious. When something is precious, it is valuable for you. For example, this necklace is precious to my mom. So sometimes when something is precious, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be, for example, a note, a picture, you know, it depends on the situation, or where and when and where did you get this this item or this gift or this thing, and maybe who gave it to you. So all these things depend, and these are the main things that we need to consider in order to say that this thing is precious or not precious. Let's move on. So now I have the word pride and the word remind. In the word pride, it means satisfied in something you've done. For example, I took pride in the flowers I grew in my garden. It means I am satisfied in the way they look and in the way they have grown. So I took pride in the flowers I grew in my garden. Remind, to make someone remember. For example, Mom will remind me to clean my room. Let's continue. So these are the last two vocabulary words. I have the word symbols and tradition. A symbol usually represents an idea or object. For example, the cedar tree is one of the symbols in our flag. This is one of the symbols in the Lebanese flag. Tradition, these are things done for a long time. For example, our Wednesday tradition is eating fish. This is, for example, a family they have been eating, or they have been practicing this tradition for a long time. So it's something that they have done for a long time, which is eating fish every Wednesday. It has become a tradition. So what do we have next? We are going to practice these words and using them in sentences, or finishing the sentences using the vocabulary words. Now we have to practice the sentences for the vocabulary words. Finish each sentence using the vocabulary word provided. First, I have the word tradition. Our family gets together for a family tradition. What could that be? For example, special Halloween dinner in October every year. This can be a family tradition. Number two, I have celebrate. After the girl won the spelling contest, what happened? Of course, she celebrated with her friends. Now the word is celebrate, and then I added D or ED because it's in the past. Number three, I have the word courage. He won a badge of honor. Why would someone won a badge of honor? For showing courage in saving his partner. Maybe you can show some courage during some situations as well. We will continue. I have the word disappointment. Disappointment. When I didn't get to see my friends, how would you feel? I felt disappointment. Number two, symbols. Shaking hands and hugging are what? These are examples or symbols of care and love. When you shake hands with someone or you hug them, it means you care for them and you love them as well. Number three, I have pride. My mom was so happy for me. So what makes your mom happy? She took pride in how I worked hard and won. Of course, when you work hard, your mom and your dad will be happy, and they will take pride in how you practiced and won. Last two words, I have the word remind. I always forget my lunch, but My mom always reminds me. I have here the word precious. This photo of my grandfather is so precious to my grandmother. So now that we have done practicing with the vocabulary words, we'll move on to the genre of this lesson. The genre of this lesson is realistic fiction. So what do we mean by realistic fiction? First, realistic fiction is a made-up story that could really happen. It means someone made this story up, but it can actually happen in real life. It didn't happen. Okay, this is not like something that already happened or something like that. No, it can happen. Why it can happen? Because it has real characters like me and you, real events like a house or school or a farm. Okay, and it has beginning, middle, and end. And there's one thing also, it has illustrations and dialogue. So what do we mean by illustrations and dialogue? A dialogue is what the characters say to each other. This is an example. Usually when we have dialogue, we use these quotation marks. For example, this is from the text. We could make you one, said Nokomis. I'd like that, cried Peter. So these are two sentences said by the characters in the story. Illustrations, these are the pictures or the figures that are presented in the text. What do these illustrations do? They give more information or details about characters and settings. From the picture, we can tell that this is Peter, and you can tell that Peter is sad. You can look at his face and you can tell that he is sad of something. So let's move on to our lesson. Our lesson is the dream catcher. Let's read it together. You can find this lesson in your English books. This is the second lesson. Peter walked home from school. Salty tears ran down his cheeks, so he was crying, and his stomach hurt. He also had stomach ache. Why? He didn't know what to do. What do you think is wrong with Peter? Let's find out. Grandmother was waiting for him on the front porch. So he arrived home in this situation. What's wrong, Bayan? Said Peter's grandmother. What is this word, Bayan? We know that his name is Peter. So now they are telling us that Bayan was the Ojibwe name for Peter. Now Ojibwe, this belongs to a group of people who live in America, so we call them Ojibwe. He called her Nokomis, which means grandmother. So they have different names they call each other. Rather than saying grandmother, he can call her Nokomis. Peter looked up. I have to give a presentation, where I talk about a family tradition. I know we have lots of beliefs and customs. Can you remind me of one? So tradition here, it means beliefs and customs. Okay, so it can be, as I told you before, it can be a type of food, it can be some kind of dance. Okay, so it can be something they use in their culture that symbols something else. And as you can see, our lesson is about the dream catcher, and this is something for the Ojibwe group they use in their culture. Let's find out more about this dream catcher. Nokomis smiled. So smile because I have long I, and then D because in the past. And nodded her head. She moved her head up and down. Come with me, she said. Peter followed Nokomis. Nokomis again is his grandmother. She went to a closet and stretched her hand to reach the top shelf. In the closet there is a top shelf. In order to reach it, she had to stretch her hands. She pulled out a small box. Now I want you all to imagine how was the grandmother, or how the small box looked like, and then try to continue reading with that picture in your mind. And blew away the dust. So apparently this box has been saved carefully for a long time, and now there's dust on the top of it. She handed it to Peter. She gave the box to Peter. What do you think inside this box? Let's find out. Open it, she said. Peter opened the box. He spotted, means he saw. He spotted a wooden hoop inside. This is the wooden hoop, okay? It's a hoop like a circular shape, you see it? And it's made of wood. It was in the shape of a circle. String was woven and twisted around the hoop. So here we have also strings inside. You can see these are the strings. It looked like a spider web. A black bead sat near the center. So this one here, I don't have the black bead, but this is the bead that they are talking about. Feathers hung from the bottom. You can see these are the feathers. They are hanging from the bottom. We will learn the meaning of this dream catcher in the coming pages. Peter wiped away his tears and smiled. He was happy he found something. This is a dream catcher, said Nokomis. Our people have made these for many years. So as I told you, traditions, they are passed from generation to generation. It's what our ancestors used to do. Now these are the symbols. Circles are symbols of unity and strength. So the circle, it symbolizes unity and strength. Strength means like someone strong or having strength. It means they have goodwill. Let's hang it over your bed tonight. It will catch your bad dreams in the web, and your good dreams will fall through the center. Maybe it will give you courage to do your presentation. Now this sentence is very important. Now here we learn that Peter is afraid. He's scared of doing the presentation. And the Nokomis, or his grandmother, believed that if he hung the dream catcher above his bed, it will catch in the web the bad dreams. It will catch the bad dreams in the web, and the good dreams will go through the center or through the bead. Can I take this one to school? Asked Peter. No, Bayan, said Nokomis. This dream catcher is precious. It means it's of great value to Nokomis. Why, I got it when I was your age, and it means a lot to me. So here they are explaining the meaning of precious. It's something that is of great value to someone, but it may mean nothing to someone else. Peter felt disappointment because he wanted to share the dream catcher with his class. We could make you one, said Nokomis. I'd like that, cried Peter. Nokomis and Peter worked together and made a dream catcher. That night, as he gazed, means he looked for a long time, and looked at the dream catcher over his bed, he made a plan. The next morning, he told Nokomis his plan. I'm going to show my class how to make a dream catcher, he said. That's a great idea, said Nokomis. Let's celebrate, means let's do something special. After your presentation, I will bake corn cookies and we will have a traditional Ojibwe party. So it's the traditional food. The corn cookies are traditional food. Peter shared his dream catcher with his classmates and showed them how to make their own. Peter didn't feel nervous or scared at all. He felt pride in his culture. He felt pride in himself too. So he was so happy of himself and of his culture. This is the end of our lesson. So this was our story. I want you to practice reading the first 2 pages, and you can just read the other pages in order to finish up the story. That was our video for this week. Thanks for watching, and for any question, join me during our Zoom session on Tuesday. Bye bye and stay safe. Good morning, grade 3 students. Good morning, grade 3 students. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, grade 3 students. How are you? I missed you so much. Okay. So welcome to a new English lecture. This is English lecture number 4. We can say that about the culture here in Lebanon, we can say that we can say, so what can we say about the culture of Lebanon? Sometimes maybe a shirt, a note of paper. It depends on who's this, who gave you this. Okay.